Hello again, children. Today we're going to be looking at rounding to the nearest 10,000. Again, you're going to need some paper and a pencil, and you're going to listen for my challenge. Did you spot my mistake in yesterday's lesson? Well done if you did. So we're going to practice the rounding that we've done already. So here's our first challenge for today. I've got a number line here with 60,000, 65, 70,000. So we're looking at rounding to the nearest 10,000. And I've got some numbers on here rounding to the nearest 10,000. Your job is to work out which one is closest to 60,000 and which one is closer to 70,000. So the first one's been done for you. It says 61,500 is closer to 60,000 than 70,000. And so 61,500 rounds to 60,000 when looking at the nearest 10,000. Now, in a moment, I want you to pause the video and draw this number line on your paper so that you can use it to answer the next questions. Have you drawn it? Let's look at the questions. There are 3 questions for you to try. Pause the video and have a go. How did you get on? Let's have a look. 64,300 is closer to 60,000 than it is to 70,000, and that means it rounds to 60,000. 67,250, 67,000 is closer to 70,000 than it is to 60,000, and that means that number rounds to 70,000. And 69,000, doesn't matter about these other digits, does it? 69,000 is closer to 70,000 than it is 60,000, and that means it rounds to 70,000. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of reasoning. Let's look at this true or false. It says the greatest number that rounds to 40,000 when rounded to the nearest 10,000 is 44,000. Now I know that 45,000 would round to 50,000, not 40,000. So is this true or is it false? Pause the video and have a think. Think about the numbers that would also round to 40,000. Okay, it was false. The greatest number that rounds to 40,000 is 44,999. So when we are rounding, we wouldn't necessarily look at those numbers to help us because that's the bit that's rounding, but 44,000 isn't the biggest number, is it? Because we've got all of these digits that would also be attached to that number, but still would round to 40,000. So well done if you got that right. Okay, so we're going to look at 100,000 numbers today, and we're going to start off like we've done in each of the lessons at looking at 100,000 numbers on a number line. So I've got this number here, let's read it together. 497,813. Let's read that again. 497,813. Which 100,000 is the following number between? So I've got a 100,000 number here and I've got a 100,000 number here. So this 100,000 number would be 400,000 and this 100,000 number would be, that's right, 500,000. Let's move that out of the way. So 497,813 would be right up here on my number line. These are the numbers in here I've been placing there just to help you to see whereabouts that number would fit and look at 450,000 right in the middle. Okay, there's a couple for you to have a go at now. You can pause the video and jot down your answer. Which 100,000 is the following number between? So my number is 753,999 753,920. Let's read that together. 753,920. Now you read it. Brilliant. So I've got 700. So down here there will be 700,000 and up here there will be 800,000. Let's have a look. And this time, this number would be quite close to my 750,000. Just on this side of the number, I think. One more for you to look at. Okay, now this is a 900,000 number. Let's read it together. 967,210. Let's say that again. 967,210. So down here, I would have my 900,000 number. And over here, 10,000,000. We don't say 10,000,000, do we? What do we say? That's right. We don't say 10,000,000. We say 1,000,000. So 967,210 would be right up here on my number line. So if I rounded it to the nearest 100,000, I'd have to round it all the way up to 1,000,000. Well done. Okay, so what I want you to do now is I want you to think about what are the 100,000 numbers inside my boxes here. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, let's see how you got on. Let's read the number together. 302,456. So in this box here, I have a 300,000 number. And my next 100,000 number would be 400,000. Let's look at this one. Read it for me. Okay, let's read it together. 745,900. So in this box here, I'd have my 700,000 number. And that means that in this box here, I'd have my 800,000 number. Let's try this one. We'll read it together first. 201,489. Now you read it. So in this box here, I'm going to have my 200,000 number. And over here, I should have my 300,000. Let's read this number together. 485,200. You read it for me. Brilliant. So here I would have my 400,000 number, and here I would have my 500,000 number. Well done. Now, this is a little bit like the lesson from yesterday. We're going to complete a sentence to round up each number to say whether it's closest to 600,000 or to say whether it's closest to 700,000. Draw the number line and work out the first two, and then I'll move the video down and let you see the next two. Pause the video. Okay, you've done the first two. Let's check them out first. 610,500 is closest to 600,000 than it is to 700,000. So 610,500 rounds to 600,000. 640,300 is still closer to 600,000 than it is 700,000. So 640,300 rounds to 600,000. Okay, have a go at the last two. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, let's see how you got on. So 670,250 is closer to 700,000 than 600,000. So 670,250 rounds to 700,000. 690,425 is closer to 700,000 than 600,000, so it rounds to 700,000. Well done if you got those. Now, on this one here, it asks us to draw an arrow and label where 350,000 on the number line will go. And actually, it's quite important to think about that 5 there because there's a clue with the 5 there. So shall we add it in? Let's find 300,000, 310,000, 320,000, 330,000, 340,000, 350,000. Let's just check it. 60,000, 70,000, 80,000, 90,000, 400. So 350,000 goes right bang in the middle. Goes right in the middle. Now, what do we know about when it goes right in the middle? Do we round it down or do we round it up? 350,000 rounds to, that's right, 400,000 to the nearest 100,000. Well done. We can use a place value chart to help us when we're rounding to the nearest 100,000. Let's look at our first number. My number is 203,823. So my target is the 100,000 place. So that's that 2 there. So I definitely know I need to put in my 200,000s to help me. And then this place, the place immediately to the right, is the one that's going to help me to decide whether I keep it at 200,000 or round it up to 300,000. And I have no digits to put in there. And we know that all the other digits will not help us with our rounding. So when I round 203,823 to the nearest 10,000, my answer is 200,000. Have a go at the next 2. Oh, there were 3. Have a go at the next 3. Okay, how did you get on? So this one rounds to 700,000. I don't think I'm going to be able to write those. I might better type it in for you. So this number says 672,923. I don't need the 2, the 9, the 3 or the 2. It's these 2 digits at the end that I need. And I've got a 7 there in my 10,000 place. So this one will be 700,000. Here's 183,923, and I've got a 1 and an 8. The 8 is going to make me round my 100,000 up to 200,000. And finally, I've got 492,121. Am I keeping it at 400,000 or am I rounding it up to 500,000? This 9 is the one that's going to help me decide. That's right, I'm going to round it up to 500,000. Okay, so we're going to practice rounding to the nearest 10,000 and rounding to the nearest 100,000. You can use a place value chart to help you, or you could use a number line to help you, or you can simply use the system of looking at the place and the digit immediately to the right. Your job is to round each of these prices for a house to the nearest £10,000 and also to try rounding to the nearest £100,000. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, let's see how we got on. So 194,167 when rounded to the nearest 10,000 would give us 190,000. When rounded to the nearest 100,000 it would give us 200,000. Let's try the next 2. And the next one. And finally, the last one. So when rounded to the nearest 10,000, £98,099 would round up to 100,000. And when rounded to the nearest 100,000, 98,000 would round up to 100,000. Well done if you got those. Okay, here's a little practice of all the rounding we've covered so far. We're going to round to the nearest 10, to the nearest 100, to the nearest 1,000, to the nearest 10,000, and to the nearest 100,000. Don't worry if you find some of these a little bit tricky. Just work on the ones that you're really confident with. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, let's look at our first number. The number says 432,442. When I round it to the nearest 10, 432,440. When we round it to the nearest 100, 432,400. When we round it to the nearest 1,000, 432,000. When we round it to the nearest 10,000, 430,000. And when we round it to the nearest 100,000, 400,000. You notice that each of these numbers has been rounded down. Our next number is 878,675. The nearest 10 is 878,680. Rounded it up. 878,700 when rounded to the nearest 100. 879,000 when rounded to the nearest 1,000. 880,000 when rounded to the nearest 10,000. 900,000 when rounded to the nearest 100,000. That's the end of our work for today. Tomorrow we're going to look at how we can use rounding to help us when we're calculating.